Today's story reveals how a small discovery uncovered a wife's intricate deception. Thank you for your support. Let's dive in. The late afternoon sun streamed through the expansive windows of Marcus Bradford's home office, casting long shadows on the architectural plans spread across his custom oak desk. His fingers traced the lines of the design for the Brookline Arts Center project. The innovative layout promised to be his firm's defining achievement, assuming his business partner Joel didn't derail the client meeting again. A sudden ringtone interrupted his focus. Sophia's custom tune, the opening notes of Here Comes the Sun, which she had proudly programmed herself. His 13-year-old daughter should have been enjoying spring break at their Aspen vacation home with her mother and younger brother. Dad! Sophia's voice quivered. Marcus froze, his hand hovering over the blueprints. What's wrong, sweetheart? I saw something terrible. Her breathing hitched. Mom, she's with Uncle Joel at the house. The pencil in his other hand snapped. What do you mean with Uncle Joel? They're saying awful things about you, Sophia whispered, her voice breaking. And they're doing things I shouldn't see. I recorded it. I'm sending you the video. Marcus's phone vibrated with the incoming file. Where are you right now? He asked, his voice steady despite the anger rising within him. In my room. Tyler's in his room too. Mom thinks we're playing online games. Stay there. Don't let them know you've called me. Are you and Tyler safe? Yes, but Dad, it's bad. The things they're saying about you. I'm gonna watch the video now. Call me if anything changes. I love you, Sophia. Love you too, Dad. The video began to play. His wife, Rachel, the woman he'd shared his life with for nearly 15 years, was in the arms of Joel Carter. They stood in the great room of the Aspen house, a space Marcus had designed with love, framed by breathtaking mountain views that held cherished family memories. Marcus is so predictable, Rachel sneered. Always buried in work, always chasing some grand project. He doesn't even notice what's happening at home. Joel's laugh rang out. The great architect, so focused on building other people's dreams that he doesn't see his own life falling apart. The kids barely see him these days. It'll be easy to prove he's an absentee father. Rachel stretched on the leather sectional Marcus had gifted her. For their last anniversary, her voice laced with disdain. The courts favor the primary caregiver. Once we control the firm. Joel's hand moved possessively over Rachel's shoulder. Clients already prefer working with me. They think Marcus is too intense. The betrayal deepened with each moment of the recording. Marcus's expression hardened, yet he forced himself to watch. This wasn't just infidelity. It was a calculated attack on everything he held dear. His phone buzzed again, this time with a message from Tyler. Dad, check your email. My laptop picked up more. Opening his email, Marcus found several video files captured by his 11-year-old son's gaming setup. Tyler's explanation was simple. Needed stronger Wi-Fi for streaming. Camera caught the living room. The new footage unveiled even more treachery. Rachel and Joel sipping wine and scheming about the firm. The weak point is the international contracts, Joel explained, gesturing with his glass. If we time it right, we can force a sale before Marcus catches on. Rachel nodded, her expression cold and calculating. My lawyer says his work schedule is enough for limited custody. No judge wants children raised by nannies while their father works 60-hour weeks. And the accounts? Almost ready. Once everything's transferred, we'll have a fresh start. Rachel's laugh was cold. He's so busy double-checking building measurements, he doesn't even notice the banking alerts. Another message from Sophia appeared. Dad, look what I found on Mom's phone. Screenshots filled his screen. Months of manipulated communications. School events with altered dates. Deleted messages about Tyler's soccer games. Parent-teacher conferences mysteriously missing from shared calendars. Every missed moment. Every time Rachel had said, "Don't worry, I'll handle it." All deliberately orchestrated to paint Marcus as the uninvolved father they needed for their plan. The chime of the doorbell broke his dark thoughts. Through the office window, he saw Elsa Carter's Mercedes in the circular driveway, Joel's wife, and one of the state's top family law attorneys. Marcus met her at the door, his expression cautious. Elsa's usually impeccable blonde hair was slightly unkempt, her tailored suit bearing the signs of urgency. "The children contacted me first," she said without preamble, striding in with an armful of documents. "Your daughter is incredibly resourceful. She found my number in your emergency contacts." "How long have you known?" Marcus asked, leading her to his office. "About the affair?" "3 weeks." Elsa spread the papers across his desk with practice precision. "About their plans to destroy you? That's why I'm here tonight. Your children's evidence was the final piece I needed." Marcus studied the documents before him. Bank statements, business contracts, legal filings awaiting signatures that looked disturbingly like his own. "They've been systematic," Elsa continued, her professional mask slipping just slightly. "Joel's been laying the groundwork at the firm for months. Rachel's been systematically alienating you from the kids while documenting everything to cast you as an absent father." "And you've been building a case?" Marcus asked. "Of course." A cold smile crossed Elsa's face. "Did you think I became one of Colorado's top family law attorneys to just sit back when my husband decided to trade me in for a younger model? No offense to your wife." "None taken," Marcus replied, his voice icy. "What's our next move?" "First, we protect your assets. I've already prepared the necessary paperwork." She pulled out another folder. "Then, we secure your custody position. The children's documentation of Rachel's manipulation is a gold mine. Judges hate parental alienation." "The firm?" Marcus pressed. "Joel's been careless," Elsa said, her tone sharp. "Too reliant on his charm. Not nearly enough attention to detail." Her smile turned predatory. "He forgot I review all his major contracts. The evidence of misconduct is overwhelming." Marcus studied Elsa, her designer suit slightly rumpled, determination in her posture, righteous fury simmering just below her composed exterior. "Why help me? Why not just ruin Joel yourself?" he asked. "Because they didn't just betray us," Elsa said, meeting his gaze evenly. "They tried to destroy us, your children, my professional reputation, both of our financial futures. That deserves a special kind of justice. The kind that leaves no room for recovery." Marcus asked. "Exactly." Elsa began sorting the documents into actionable steps. "The children are the priority. Everything else is collateral damage." Marcus's phone buzzed again, a message from Sophia. "Mom and Uncle Joel went out for dinner. Left us with pizza and Netflix. Tyler's documenting everything." Marcus smirked grimly. "My kids are remarkably resourceful. They're survivors," Elsa corrected. "They've watched their mother systematically try to undermine their father while pretending everything is fine. That kind of manipulation forces kids to grow up fast." Marcus picked up one of the financial documents. "How much time do we have?" "Based on the evidence, they're planning to act within the month. Joel's been liquidating assets. Rachel's been researching schools in other districts." Elsa's efficiency was as sharp as it was chilling. "We need to move before they realize the children have chosen sides." The phone buzzed one final time, a video message from Tyler. "Dad, you need to see this. Mom forgot I know her tablet password." The recording showed Rachel and Joel in the kitchen of the Aspen vacation house, casually discussing their plans. "Once the divorce starts, Marcus will be too focused on the firm to fight for custody," Rachel said, her tone dripping with smug confidence. "He'll probably thank me for taking the kids off his hands." Joel leaned against the counter. "And Elsa? Any chance she'll interfere?" Rachel laughed, sipping her wine. "Please. By the time we're done, she'll be lucky to keep her law license, let alone contest anything." Joel's tone sharpened. "What do you mean by that?" Rachel smirked. "Let's just say I've made some creative investments in record keeping. Trust me, by the time we're finished, they'll both wish they'd never met us." The video ended. Marcus looked at Elsa, and in her eyes, he saw the same cold fury burning in his own. "Still feel like showing mercy?" she asked quietly. "No," Marcus said, his voice calm and deadly. "Now we make them regret every decision they've made." "Good," Elsa said, pulling out a fresh set of documents. "Because I've spent the last 3 weeks preparing for this fight." As night settled over the city, 2 betrayed spouses worked in Marcus's office, meticulously planning their counterstrike, while 2 children in the Aspen vacation house gathered evidence against parents who had underestimated them. The foundation of Marcus's life had crumbled, but he was an architect. He knew that the strongest structures often rose from complete demolition. This time, he would design something unshakable. With determination in his heart and precision in his mind, Marcus Bradford began crafting the systematic dismantling of his betrayers' lives. They had dismissed him as too preoccupied to notice their schemes. Now they would learn exactly how methodical and relentless he could be when protecting his family. Meanwhile, in the Aspen vacation house, Rachel and Joel returned from dinner, oblivious to the storm brewing around them. They found Sophia and Tyler quietly playing video games, blissfully unaware that their own plans were already unraveling, undone by the very children they had underestimated. The first act of this drama was ending. The response would be devastating. The next morning, the sunrise painted the Aspen Mountains in tranquil hues, masking the chaos about to unfold. In Marcus's home office, now transformed into a war room, screens displayed financial records, security footage, and a cascade of damning evidence. The vacation house security feed shows they're still asleep. Sophia's text popped up on Marcus's phone. Mom took a sleeping pill. She always does after too much wine. Elsa, dressed in practical business attire, worked furiously on her laptop. Your daughter has a future in surveillance, she commented. She gets her attention to detail from me, Marcus said, scanning the asset protection documents. What's our timeline? 4 hours before they typically wake up, Elsa replied, consulting her calendar. The beauty of arrogance. They're creatures of habit. Another text came in from Tyler. Uncle Joel left his phone unlocked in the kitchen. Want me to forward his emails? Elsa smirked. Your son is quite the intelligence operative. Marcus nodded. He's been testing security systems for his gaming streams. Turns out those skills are useful in real life. The emails revealed the full extent of Joel's betrayal. Meetings scheduled without Marcus's knowledge. Altered project. Proposals and financial discrepancies across the board. Your wife isn't the only one manipulating records, Elsa said, scanning through the data. Joel's been quietly sabotaging your position at the firm for months. Can you prove it's deliberate? Elsa held up a flash drive Sophia had copied from Rachel's laptop. I can prove conspiracy. The drive contained drafts of unsent letters outlining their entire scheme. Detailed plans to isolate Marcus from his children, scripts for turning clients against him, lists of sympathetic judges for their upcoming court battle, and bank account details in the Cayman Islands. They documented everything, Elsa said with cold satisfaction. People this convinced of their own brilliance always do. Marcus's phone buzzed with an update from Sophia. Mom's calendar shows dinner reservations tonight at La Bellevue. Their usual 3-hour business meeting. Perfect, Elsa said, already sorting documents into action folders. That gives us enough time to launch the first phase. While Rachel and Joel plotted over French cuisine, Marcus and Elsa executed their counterstrike. Emergency court filings were prepared, bank accounts flagged for suspicious activity, property titles secured, and business records locked down. Dad, Tyler's voice came through on the speakerphone. I mapped out their whole routine. Like you asked, they're super predictable. Go on. Every morning, they wait until they think we're busy with activities. Mom goes to the spa around 11. Uncle Joel makes business calls from the patio. They meet for lunch at 2, then go shopping or hiking until dinner. And you've documented all of this? Video, audio, timestamps. Sophia figured out how to sync it all with GPS data from their phones. Elsa raised an eyebrow. Your children are impressively thorough. They're survivors, Marcus replied, his voice filled with both pride and sorrow. They learned to gather evidence the moment they sensed something was wrong. Smart kids, Elsa remarked, pulling up another file. Now, about custody arrangements. The evidence of parental alienation is compelling, but we need to ensure the children's immediate safety. Already handled, Marcus said, opening a secure messaging app. My head of security has a team ready to act. Once we move, they'll ensure Rachel can't interfere. You trust them? Hassan Patton was my roommate at Stanford. He's been running my firm's security for a decade. Marcus's expression darkened, and Rachel's affair with Joel destroyed his sister. Elsa paused. What? His sister was my lead project manager. She uncovered Joel's financial manipulations last year. Had a heart attack after a heated confrontation. Official report blamed stress and pre-existing conditions. Unofficially, Hassan's investigation pointed to threats from Joel, but we could never prove it. Marcus's voice turned to steel. Now we don't need to. This ends here. A new message from Sophia appeared. Mom's bragging to her friend Sandra on the phone. Says by next month, she'll be living in the Tokyo penthouse you designed for the Shimizu project. Elsa's smile turned predatory. That's interesting, considering the Shimizu contract specifically prohibits personal use of their properties. Joel knows that, Marcus said. He helped draft the agreement. Yes, Elsa replied, typing furiously, but your wife doesn't. And her recorded conversation just gave us leverage with one of your biggest clients. The children's surveillance continued throughout the day. 12:15 p.m., Tyler reported. Uncle Joel is calling lawyers in Singapore about transferring assets. 1:30 p.m., Sophia added. Mom's showing her friends pictures of her new life. They're drinking champagne and laughing about how you'll never see it coming. 3:45 p.m., Tyler chimed in. Got footage of them rehearsing how to break the divorce news. Mom says she'll cry and blame your workaholic tendencies. Uncle Joel's coaching her on how to look vulnerable. Each message strengthened their case. Every recorded conversation, every documented meeting, every arrogant assumption that they were too clever to be caught became powerful weapons in Marcus and Elsa's arsenal. Hassan arrived just as the setting sun painted the office windows in golden hues. His security expertise was evident in his precise movements and sharp, observant eyes. The firm is secured, he reported. Keycards deactivated, passwords changed, servers locked down. Joel's access is now restricted to public areas only. And the overseas accounts? Marcus asked. Frozen, pending investigation. My team identified irregularities that required immediate action. Hassan's grim smile appeared. Amazing how many red flags you find when you know where to look. And the children's evacuation plan? Marcus continued. Teams are in place. Safe houses are ready. Once you give the word, we move. Hassan laid out the detailed protocols. No one will interfere. Elsa reviewed the security measures. Impressive. But what about Rachel's potential reaction? Hassan's voice tightened with controlled fury. My sister's death taught me to prepare for everything. She won't have time to react. As the night deepened, every piece of the plan fell into place. Marcus's phone lit up with a final update from Sophia. They're heading out for dinner. Mom's wearing the diamond necklace you gave her for your anniversary. She told Uncle Joel it'll help fund their fresh start once they've locked you out of the accounts. Marcus studied the chessboard on his desk, a gift from his father. Do you know why I excel at architecture, Elsa? Tell me, she replied. Because I understand that every structure relies on a strong foundation, he said, moving a chess piece. And that removing the right support at the right time can bring down even the most ambitious plans. His phone buzzed with a message from Tyler. Check the security cameras. You'll want to see this. The vacation house feed showed Rachel adjusting her dress in front of a mirror, Joel's hands possessively resting on her waist. Poor Marcus, she laughed, admiring the diamonds. Always so focused on building things that he never noticed his life falling apart. He'll learn soon enough. Joel's smile was smug. By the time we're done, he'll have nothing left to build with. And Elsa? Rachel's tone dripped with disdain. The perfect wife with her perfect career? She won't be so perfect once those documents surface. Joel kissed her neck. Ready to destroy some lives, beautiful? Born ready, Rachel replied. They left for dinner, laughing about their cleverness, completely unaware that Tyler's gaming laptop had recorded every word, or that Sophia's phone was transmitting their arrogance directly to the people they had targeted. In Marcus's office, three determined individuals watched the feed with cold satisfaction. Shall we begin? Elsa asked quietly. Marcus glanced at the chessboard and then at his phone displaying his children's messages. Every betrayal, every manipulation, every mocking laugh had led to this moment. Yes, he said simply. Let's show them how much attention I've been paying. Hassan began implementing security protocols. Elsa launched the legal countermeasures. and Marcus, the architect they had underestimated, began the systematic dismantling of their meticulously planned future. In the Aspen vacation house, two children who had learned far too early about adult betrayal continued gathering evidence, their loyalty to truth and justice eclipsing any misplaced loyalty to a mother who had so badly underestimated them. The response was in full motion. By the time Rachel and Joel finished their self-congratulatory dinner, their world would already be crumbling, destroyed by the very people they had tried to ruin. And in the end, they would learn that some betrayals demand more than revenge. They demand complete demolition, followed by rebuilding something stronger. The second act was over. Justice, cold and calculated, was about to be served. Monday dawned over Aspen with a deceptive calm. Rachel's keycard clicked against the front door lock with the confidence of someone who believed she owned the world. A red error light blinked back at her. What? She tried again. Nothing. Her phone wouldn't connect to the house's smart system. Even her emergency key, smugly hidden from Marcus, failed to turn in the lock. Fine, she muttered, pulling out her phone to call the security company. We'll do this the hard way. The call went straight to an automated message. All security inquiries for this property must be directed to Patent Security Services. Inside the house, the smart home system came alive. Every screen, from the kitchen tablet to the living room display, lit up with the same video. Tyler and Sophia sat side by side, their expressions calm and unervingly resolute. Hi, Mom, Sophia's voice filled the house. By now, you've realized something's wrong. We wanted to tell you ourselves. Tyler continued. We chose Dad. Don't look for us. Sophia's smile was cold. Your boyfriend's wife has a surprise for you. Good luck with that. The video looped, every screen and speaker broadcasting their children's message on endless repeat. Rachel frantically dialed Joel's number. Get over here now. Something's wrong. The house is locked. The kids are gone. I'm already on my way, Joel replied, his voice tense. The firm's security system locked me out. None of my passwords work. What? I don't know. Just wait for me. 20 minutes later, Joel's Mercedes screeched into the driveway. He found Rachel pacing on the front steps, her designer outfit from last night crumpled and streaked with tears. It's not just the house, she cried. My bank cards are declined. My phone's locked out of everything except calls. Even my Instagram is gone. Calm down, Joel said, reaching for her, but he froze as another car approached. A sleek black SUV pulled up, and Hassan Patton stepped out, flanked by his security team. In his hands were two thick envelopes. Mrs. Bradford. Mr. Carter, Hassan said, his voice brimming with satisfaction. I have documents requiring your signatures. Hassan, Rachel stepped forward, relief flashing across her face. Thank God. We need access. That won't be possible, Hassan interrupted, holding out the envelopes. These first. Joel snatched his envelope and ripped it open. His face turned ashen as he scanned the contents. Divorce papers, business dissolution notices, court orders freezing his access to company assets, and a personal note from Elsa. Surprised, darling? You shouldn't be. Next time you plot to destroy someone, make sure their children haven't already chosen sides. Oh, and those offshore accounts? Frozen, along with everything else. Enjoy explaining that to your mistress. Rachel's envelope contained her own set of shocks. Divorce papers citing adultery and parental alienation, emergency custody orders granting Marcus full custody, financial freezes on every account she thought hidden, and a complete dossier of her systematic manipulation of family schedules. Proof of her conspiracy to destroy Marcus's reputation was laid bare. This is absurd, she sputtered. No judge would. Every judge will. Elsa's voice cut through the morning air as she stepped out of a second SUV with predatory grace, a tablet in hand. Would you like to see what else we have? The video evidence? The recorded conversations? Your detailed plans for fraud? You can't. Prove. Actually, we can, Elsa said, her smile razor sharp. Your children are surprisingly adept at gathering evidence. Must be all those tech skills you dismissed as wasting time gaming. Joel stepped forward. Now wait a minute. No, you wait. Hassan's team moved subtly, cutting off any retreat. My sister waited when you threatened her over those financial discrepancies, Hassan said coldly, his fury barely contained. She waited until the stress of your threats finally broke her, Hassan said coldly, his voice sharp with restrained fury. Joel's face went even paler. Oh yes, Hassan continued. We found her recordings, all of them. The district attorney is very interested in reopening that investigation. Over the next several weeks, revelations shattered the carefully constructed world Joel and Rachel had built. The preliminary hearing was ruthlessly efficient. Elsa presented undeniable evidence of systematic parental alienation. Sophia's video footage exposed Rachel coaching Joel on manipulating client contracts. Tyler's recordings revealed their meticulous plans to drain company accounts. Hassan's investigation uncovered the full scope of Joel's financial misconduct. Their professional networks disintegrated. Clients fled from Joel's projects in droves. Rachel's social media influencer contracts were canceled due to moral character clauses. Country club memberships were revoked. Charity board positions were eliminated. The children's testimony was devastating. Sophia described years of deliberate schedule manipulation, while Tyler presented his meticulously logged evidence. Both children emphatically chose to live with their father, leaving no room for custody disputes. Through it all, Marcus remained steadfast, focusing on his children and his firm. He attended every soccer game, every school event, now accurately recorded in shared calendars. The Brookline Arts Center project continued without a hitch, achieving critical acclaim despite the scandal. 1 year later, the high school auditorium buzzed with excitement. Sophia stood at the podium, her valedictorian medals glinting under the stage lights. People talk about truth like it's fragile, she began, her voice steady. Like it's something that can be hidden, twisted, or buried. But last year, I learned something important. Truth has a way of building its own foundation. In the audience, Marcus sat beside Tyler and Elsa, their hands clasped. His architectural firm had doubled its projects under his leadership. Tyler's gaming channel, now focusing on strategy games and digital security, had surpassed 1 million subscribers. Near the back, Rachel sat clutching a guest pass. Her designer wardrobe was gone, replaced by modest business attire suitable for her. New role as a junior real estate agent in Nevada. Joel was absent. His legal troubles related to Marcus's former project manager made attendance impossible. Foundations aren't just about support, Sophia continued, her gaze meeting her father's. Any good architect will tell you they're about integrity, about building something that can withstand any storm. The audience erupted into applause, but Sophia wasn't finished. My father taught me that the strongest structures often rise from complete demolition. My brother showed me that the best strategies come from careful observation. And together, we learned that loyalty isn't about keeping secrets, it's about standing for the truth. After the ceremony, in the parking lot, Rachel lingered, watching Marcus help Sophia adjust her graduation robes for photos. Elsa straightened Tyler's tie, while he enthusiastically showed her a new game design on his tablet. They looked like a complete family. A security guard approached Rachel. Your guest pass has expired, ma'am. She turned to leave, but paused as Sophia's voice rang out. Dad? Is Mom still there? Yes, Marcus answered simply. Good, Sophia said, her voice clear. I want her to see what she lost. Every achievement, every celebration, every moment of joy. I want her to understand exactly what choosing lies cost her. Rachel walked to her modest used car, her expensive heels, the last vestige of her former life, clicking against the pavement. Behind her, she heard Tyler call out, Hey Dad, let's take another picture. Should we celebrate at the lake house? Perfect, Marcus replied. Elsa had made reservations at La Bellevue, the same restaurant where Rachel and Joel had once schemed their future, now serving a very different kind of justice. That evening, Marcus stood in his home office, addressing his advanced architectural students via video conference. Remember, he told them, sometimes the strongest foundations are built after the original structure falls. But more importantly, what you build should reflect what you value. Integrity isn't just about materials. It's about every choice you make, He ended the call and turned to find Elsa standing in the doorway. "The kids are asking for you," she said with a smile. "Tyler wants to show you his new security system design." Marcus smiled, taking her hand. Together, they walked to the family room, where their rebuilt life stood firmly on the foundations of truth, justice, and unshakable loyalty. And somewhere in Nevada, in a small apartment, Rachel opened her mail to find an invitation to Tyler's middle school graduation. On the back, in his neat handwriting, were the words, "You can sit in the back. Watch what your choices cost you." It seemed the price of betrayal would be paid in endless installments of regret. Epilogue. 5 years later, the Manhattan skyline glittered through the floor-to-ceiling windows of Bradford and Associates' new headquarters. Marcus stood at his drafting table, reviewing plans for the Singapore Sustainability Complex, the firm's most ambitious project yet. A wall of awards showcased their meteoric rise since the firm's reorganization 5 years ago. His intercom buzzed. "Mr. Bradford, your daughter's documentary team is here for the interview." At 18, Sophia had transformed her early experience with digital surveillance into an award-winning documentary series, Foundations of Truth. Her first film, chronicling her own family's story, had earned critical acclaim and sparked a national conversation about parental alienation. "Send them up," Marcus said, adjusting his Italian silk tie, a gift from Elsa for their second wedding anniversary. The office door opened to reveal a confident young woman leading a professional film crew. Sophia's resemblance to her mother had faded, replaced by a poise and determination entirely her own. "Ready to talk about the renovation project, Dad?" she asked, directing her crew to set up. "The series on rebuilding after betrayal needs an architectural perspective." "Always," Marcus said with a smile. "Though I suspect this interview isn't just about buildings." Sophia laughed softly, checking her notes. "Did you see Mom's latest appeal was denied?" "Hassan mentioned it." Marcus replied, his expression neutral. "Insufficient grounds to reconsider the financial settlements, wasn't it?" "Third attempt this year," Sophia said with a laugh devoid of sympathy. She really should have read the prenup and Elsa drafted more carefully. The years had not been kind to Rachel Bradford. Now Rachel Wilson, after a brief, disastrous marriage to a minor real estate developer. Her Nevada real estate career had faltered under the weight of her documented history of fraud. Each attempt to rebuild her reputation was met with Tyler's viral videos analyzing patterns of deception or Sophia's documentary clips highlighting her orchestrated betrayal. "How's her new job?" Marcus asked, though he already knew from Hassan's reports. "Still giving tours at the Reno Convention Center," Sophia said, adjusting her camera. "Apparently, she tells anyone who'll listen that she used to be married to that famous architect. At least until security reminds her about the non-disclosure agreement." The NDA had been Elsa's masterstroke. Protection for the children in exchange for a modest monthly stipend. Every time Rachel violated it, the payment decreased. "And Uncle Joel?" Sophia asked, her tone dripping with irony. "Still serving his sentence for financial fraud and harassment," Marcus said, moving to his desk. "Though I hear he's up for parole next year." Joel Carter had learned too late that threatening the wrong person's sister had consequences. Hassan's evidence about his role in her death had opened the floodgates to financial misconduct investigations. His attempts to shift blame to Rachel had only hastened his downfall. "Tyler's doing a live stream about the case tonight," Sophia mentioned. His Strategies of Justice channel hit 5 million subscribers last month. At 16, Tyler had transformed his gaming expertise into a thriving career analyzing real-world cases of corporate fraud and digital deception. His signature sign-off, "Remember, every betrayal leaves digital footprints," had become a mantra in the cybersecurity world. The intercom buzzed again. "Mr. Bradford, Mrs. Bradford is here with the Tokyo contract updates." Elsa entered, her legal briefcase replaced by architectural portfolios. After their marriage, she had returned to her first passion, architectural law, and now headed the firm's international contracts division. Their personal and professional partnership had become legendary in industry circles. "The Shimizu Group doubled their investment," she announced. "Apparently, your design for their eco tower impressed the board." The same tower Rachel thought she'd be living in. Sophia's smile was sharp. Life has a sense of irony. Speaking of irony, Elsa said, setting down her folders. Joel's former clients are now bidding against each other for our services. Hassan's security protocols have become the industry standard. Hassan Patton's security firm now protected the architectural data of half the Fortune 500. His sister's case had revolutionized digital security in corporate architecture, leaving a legacy Joel could never have imagined. Did you tell them about the foundation? Sophia asked, adjusting her camera setup. Perfect timing. Marcus pulled up a presentation. The Bradford Foundation for Family Justice launches next month. It'll focus on supporting children affected by parental alienation and corporate fraud. Mom tried to contact me about that, Sophia said, her expression hardening. Wanted to contribute her perspective to the launch event. Let me guess, Elsa said, her voice tinged with amused disdain. Another NDA violation? Already documented, Tyler chimed in. From Sophia's laptop, his gaming stream visible. Added it to the evidence database. Her stipend drops another 10% next month. The years had taught Rachel nothing about digital footprints. Every attempt to contact her children, every social media rant about her unfair treatment, and every angry email to Marcus's firm had been meticulously logged and costly. How's the new house coming along? Elsa asked, changing the subject. Dad's design is perfect, Sophia beamed. The recording studio has amazing acoustics for documentary voiceovers. And the security system Tyler designed? Mom won't be making any surprise visits. Unlike her surprise last Christmas, Tyler added with dark amusement. Did she really think showing up drunk at the firm's holiday party would work? That incident had cost Rachel her real estate license. Her slurred rant about stolen lives and home-wrecking attorneys had gone viral, thanks to Tyler's security cameras and Sophia's editing. Her therapist suggested closure. Elsa remarked dryly. Apparently, she's still convinced she's the victim. Speaking of closure, Sophia said, turning to her father. Are you ready for your interview? The world wants to know how you rebuilt after betrayal. Marcus looked around his office at his daughter's confident professionalism, his wife's unwavering strength, his son's digital expertise, and the empire they'd built from the ruins of betrayal. The key to rebuilding, he began as Sophia's cameras rolled, is understanding that some foundations can't be repaired. Sometimes, you need a complete demolition before you can build something stronger. The interview chronicled their journey from betrayal to triumph. Meanwhile, in a small Reno apartment, Rachel watched Tyler's live stream with bitter regret. Her phone buzzed with another NDA violation notice. Her stipend would barely cover her rent next month. In a minimum security prison, Joel Carter stared at a newspaper featuring Bradford and Associates' latest success. His parole officer had warned him that any contact with his former partner or family would violate his release conditions. His cellmate, watching CNBC, pointed to the screen where Tyler Bradford explained how to detect corporate fraud through digital analysis. 6 months later, the documentary premiered. Critics praised its unflinching exploration of betrayal's consequences. Architectural journals highlighted Marcus's metaphorical approach to rebuilding. Legal reviews lauded Elsa's innovative protections for betrayed spouses. At the premiere, Marcus and Elsa sat proudly with their children. Tyler's security team ensured the event's privacy. Sophia's cameras captured everything. And somewhere in Reno, Rachel watched through. A streaming service she could barely afford. She saw the life she'd thrown away, the children who had outgrown her, and the empire she had tried to steal now standing stronger than ever. The final scene showed the Bradford family at their Aspen vacation house, the site of the original betrayal, now completely redesigned, a testament to their resilience and their triumph over deception. Sophia's documentary studio occupied the former master suite. Tyler's gaming command center filled the great room. Marcus and Elsa's architectural designs adorned the walls where evidence of betrayal once hung. The thing about betrayal, Sophia's voiceover concluded, is that it reveals who people truly are. My mother and her accomplices showed us their truth, so we showed them ours. And we built something stronger than they could ever tear down. The credits rolled over scenes of their new life. Marcus and Elsa reviewing plans for another groundbreaking project. Tyler explaining digital security strategies to corporate executives. Sophia accepting yet another award for her documentary work. Hassan's security team protecting architectural innovations. The Bradford Foundation helping families rebuild their lives. And in the final frame, a simple architectural drawing. The original house plans marked with demolition approved, followed by blueprints. For something newer, stronger, and better. Because, as Marcus often told his architectural students, the price of betrayal can become the foundation of something priceless. The true cost, as Rachel and Joel learned too late, wasn't in the money they lost or the lives they tried to destroy. It was in the future they would never share, the strength they had underestimated, and the justice that would shadow them forever. Some prices, after all, never stop being paid. This is where our story ends. Share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for your time. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to the channel. Click on the video on your screen, and I'll see you there.